this. Another stim comes down from the FTC's forces, and he's just going to just micro his way out of this one. All the Zealots are going down the Archons as well. There's the GG by Extreme. The STC going 3-0 in this matchup. So oGs looking very strong at the moment. We'll see if ZENEX can bring someone else out to take out the STC. So of course we'll be right back in a second. Alright, I'm just gonna grab a quick drink, Rail. Can I be right back?
Right. I don't know, unstable. I think that last game comes down just to the planetary fortress on the gold.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he kept going into that. That was very weird.
It's like right there at the end of the game, you can see the gold was just about to mine out. There's only a couple patches left. He had all of those units that were pretty much just from the gold base and muling it repeatedly. And it gave him such a big supply lead that Extreme just couldn't deal with it. He almost killed that planetary fortress. He just needed like 2 more seconds of focus fire to take it down. But it's like a lose-lose situation because he would have lost a ton of units if he does that. So it's like you leave the planetary fortress up, you're probably going to lose. If you sacrifice too many units to kill the planetary fortress, you might lose to a counterattack. So it's just really tough to deal with there.
That's right, so we're just waiting for ZENEX to pick their next player, of course. oGs up 3-0 in this best of 11, so 3 more to go for the STC. But the problem is really the fact that they don't really have that deep of a lineup to go up against oGs. Like, their top heavy hitters have come out and they've made some questionable decisions in that game, in their games, and it's actually caused the STC to pull them over. So we'll see who comes out next. Still have a chance to bring it back, but it doesn't look very likely.
I mean, you never know. Maybe one of those B-teamers will step up and show us that they're working really hard, like we've seen before in these team league formats. Especially since, like you're saying, their biggest heavy hitters have been out at this point. Could catch STC completely off guard. Like, he might try something a little bit less safe than just get caught by surprise. You never know, like, when... Was it Jokji was trying to pull that comeback? And just got surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so game has been made. Let's find out who's up next. Next, Sparta, by the looks of it. I've not heard of this guy either, so we'll see how he goes. This is, of course, the Terran player.
Alright, so we got a Terran versus Terran.
We do.
On Tal'Darim. See, now the problem with a name like Sparta is you gotta give results with the game with a name like that. If you have a name like Sparta and then you just keep losing, it's... I feel like that's false advertisement.
Yeah. Alright, so it looks like we are ready to go. Just wait for the admins to start this game. We'll get next to it. Alrighty, so not sure what's going on in the middle of the thing. I think the STC just asked for a bit of time because that's the last thing said in the chat and we haven't gone yet. So it is going to be Tal'Darim Ultra up next. Of course, next Sparta versus oGs the STC.
Yeah, I haven't seen the KSL guy do the ready thing yet, so...
There we go. So it was the STC needing a little bit of a break. So we're going to get onto this in the next couple of seconds. Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Whoop, there we go. Welcome back everyone to game number 5 here for the KSL 2012 opening ceremony. ZENEX versus oGs in a best of 11 match. We are of course going to have ZENEX Sparta up next as our red Protoss at the top. Wait, he was Protoss in the lobby, I swear to God. Of course,
no, he's Terran.
Alright, you just can't read Korean, it's okay. As our red Terran, of course, we also have oGs the STC down in the bottom left as our blue Terran. Going to be a TVT on Tal'Darim. STC currently 3-0, taking out Life, Extreme, and of course I'm missing the last one. Who was the last one? Anyway.
The last one? Life, Extreme, Pet?
That's the one. Pet as well, so we'll see how he wants to go. The STC has a very diverse TVT. He doesn't really like sticking into one style. It has helped him out a couple of times, and sometimes turns around and bites him from behind at the same time as well. So we'll see which way he wants to go with it this time. Of course, sending out an SEV scout here for Sparta. And a lot of Terrans on the Korean server don't really like going for any kind of scouting these days in TVT.
Yeah, that's actually really early. Even when they do scout, a lot of times they'll do it after the barracks. But it looks like he's really checking around. He's changing his mind to the center of the map of which direction he wanted to scout. Winds up going in the wrong direction.
That's actually going to hurt him because the STC is going for a 15 command center.
Yeah, that's... It would have been really good if he scouted in the correct direction and saw this. That would have given him a nice advantage. He could have applied a good amount of pressure to STC to try and punish this. But by the time he gets there, well, this barracks is probably going to be done. There'll be bunker on the way. And he'll have a hard time. He'll have to just try and rely on something tech to try and pressure this. So, but if you look at it, Sparta looks like he's going for a gasless expansion, so he's not going to be able to punish this with something tech-oriented. So then he's just going to be straight up behind.
A nice opening from the STC does get him a little bit of an edge early on in this game. It does seem to be the trend for the STC. Just those nice decision-making calls. And you're absolutely right, there's the command center down here for Sparta being a little bit safer. STC cutting that corner and getting away with it. It's something that these pros do over in Korea quite a bit. It's all about the cutting the corners and seeing what they can get away with and what they can't. Of course, right now we do see Sparta's only just now going to come in and actually see what's going on.
Yeah, he's going to get here and he's just going to be like, son of a biscuit. See that orbital command is already done. That means bad things for him. Oh, there's a second barracks now too. Oh man, you went command center first, and I have absolutely no way to punish this right now. So Sparta looking like he's in a slight bit of trouble here. He's gonna have to pull something out of his hat, but what can he do at this point? The only thing really going for him at this point is he went for the immediate double gas. And SCC sitting on just the one, but that's because SCC now is up to 3 barracks. Looks like he's going to go for the bio. And, well, Sparta's on 2 barracks, so he is still just straight up behind in every possible way right now.
Well, he did just drop a factory here in his main railcoon, so it's quite possibly going to be going for a number of different follow-ups to this. It would be a bit of time before it really becomes clear exactly where he's going with it. We do have the nice positioning of the Marines over here on the right-hand side of the natural for the STC, going to try and catch any kind of miss-rally units. It does happen more often than not these days, even though everyone seems to know about it. And the STC only just now going for his second gas.
Yeah, you can see worker count starting to pull ahead for him. He's got that second mule going. He's making those Marines 3 at a time. He's actually going to start pulling ahead in the Marine count. He's actually going for the combat shields first, which means he might actually try and go for some early pressure. Because if you go with that stim pack, you just wind up losing so much health in these Marine fights that it just doesn't go in your favor.
And we do actually have combat shields coming out first instead of stim. That might actually turn around to hurt the STC because we do see a starport and a tech lab down in the main for Sparta.
Yeah, but it looks like Starboard is going to try and go for that Banshee. He does have factory on the way somewhere. Where is his factory? There it is. It's by his command center. Derp derp. And a 4th barracks on the way, and 2 more reactors. So he's going to be taking up to that starport to get medevacs. I don't think it's going to be in time to get a Viking out, but actually, Sparta didn't switch these. He's actually going for a quick tank, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
No, but we do see the STC in the middle of the map now, though. Stim has started for Sparta, of course. He's got that bunker at the top of the ramp to defend any kind of pressure that comes forward. He's also got that SCV scouting around to see if there's anything hidden. And the STC does have one of his gas at his natural a little bit quicker than Sparta did. So even though he started off behind in the gas count, he's going to catch up fairly soon. Engineering bay in the main here for the STC. And he's actually poking up the ramp slightly. That was an SCV by the looks of it that moved up. See the bunker and he's going to back off.
He's got a 3rd reactor on the way. Starting stim pack now, he's going straight bio. Starport's almost done. Reactor for that is about done as well. So he's going to start cranking out these medevacs. This is the thing, is that once this starts getting going, once he gets those medevacs out, stim is done, STC is going to have to be aggressive. He needs to try and keep the tank count of Sparta down. When you're going pure bio against another Terran, you have to keep the tank count under control. And that's going to be the main linchpin of this game, is how well STC can keep that tank number down for Sparta. If he's unsuccessful and he has good tank positioning, then he's just going to blow up his entire army in one volley of shots.
Yeah. During all of this, it looks like Sparta has taken a hidden base over here at the 3 o'clock position. We'll see how he wants to that'll play out later on in the game, but he's going to have the better defensive spot considering he has siege tanks already out on the field, the bunker at the top of the ramp as well. Looks like the STC is... where is that? No, the command center is being made down here at the rocks. I thought it was actually something being lifted for a second in case I missed something, but no, it isn't. We also have Marines over here on the left-hand side of the STC's base to catch any drops coming through.
Also check the 3 o'clock. We've got a command center almost done for Sparta over in a hidden location. Realizing that he was behind economically in the early game is going to go back to one of those strategies you see quite a bit in these situations, hiding a command center, but this Marine is rallied straight over there. He's going to find this right after it finishes, so he's probably going to have to lift this off and try and fly it home.
He's actually just scouting the top right-hand corner. As we are seeing very passive play from Sparta, there's something that can happen in this situation. He's going to be spotted, like you were saying. Command center for the STC is going to finish up shortly at the bottom left-hand position. Stim is going to be done for both players in a second, but like we were saying before, the tank count here for Sparta is going to be quite high. He's going to need a lot of good splitting here by the Marines to be able to deal with it, and Sparta's Marines are actually in the main worried about any kind of drops coming forward.
Yeah, there's 4 tanks out, 5th one on the way, and this is where it starts to become difficult for STC. He's going to have to start mixing in some Marauders to be able to deal with this. If actually he's switching over to his own tanks, switching out of the pure bio into Marine tank, 2nd factory on the way, that's going to work as well. He's just going to have to try and catch up in the tank count. And he's got that 3rd base finishing up here. He was able to deny Sparta's 3rd base. So he's keeping that economic advantage, and if he can keep Sparta in his base with just this pressure, keep him defensive while he tries to catch up in that tank count, it will work in his favor. But The main question is going to be if Sparta can force a fight, well, he still has the tank advantage. It's going to be a good chance for him.
The STC does spot that Sparta is going for these rocks over here on the left-hand side. He's actually going to move through the middle of the map at the same time. We also have one SCV just saying hi down to the third base of the STCs. He's taken out by its comrade on the other team.
That is so many tanks. Sparta has to be really careful, though. Like, if he's going to try and force something, he cannot get caught unsieged by STC. If he does, that's just going to be the game right there. And he's moving really far without sieging at all.
He's trying to get around this
dangerous.
watchtower here at the moment, and it might actually work out well for him looking at the vision here for the STC. It's actually going to be... Oh, he does spot the tanks on the right. Is he paying attention at the right time? No, it doesn't look like he is.
I was only there for like a split second, so I mean that is very easy to miss on the mini-map. Looks like both players are actually going to swing around onto each other at the same time. STC is hesitating though. Oh, he's pulling back. He might actually be able to catch this. If he does, that would be crazy. No. Oh my god, STC is faking me out by just moving back and forth his army. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. Looks like he's not actually going to attack, and Sparta's just going to get a free move in on STC's base. But there's actually 4 tanks here with a decent number of Marines. Who sieges up first? Unstable. Well, that was about the same time, so I think Sparta will get a slight advantage here just because he has more tanks.
Need to be careful of the reinforcements coming in from behind here, though. They actually were stopping in the middle of the map, coming back now. There's only a few Marines. They were lifted up into the medivac to try and save them from that. Lots of damage going onto the orbital command, and here come the Marines from behind, clumping up as they're trying to get into these tanks, losing quite a few. And the STC now taking about 15 supply lead, did not lose his command center. Of course, I was showing on the camera before, there's a bunker stopping up here to force the command center to actually move across. There's also STC's Marines on the left. They're going to engage in the middle of the map here yet again.
Yeah, picking up a few Marines on Spartas and then backing off before those tanks. Couldn't siege up. STC's got some good positioning. He's got the Vikings out to help deal with medivacs on Sparta's side. If you look at the tank count, it's 5-3. So STC has almost brought this back even on the tank counts. And, well, the second factory for Sparta only finished recently. Hasn't had that third base down this entire time. So he's having a hard time affording that second tank production. As you look at the production tab, he's actually not making either tank right now.
Yeah, but
he was supply blocked for quite a while.
Sparta lost quite a few SCVs as he was trying to get rid of that bunker up at the top. The STC is quite ahead in the upgrades here, both at 1-1.
Oh my god.
+2 almost done.
Drop.
Yeah, there is a lot of drops coming through over here. There's actually Marines to here. If they can stem and target these medivacs down in time before many of the units come out, it's going to be huge for the STC, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's got more reinforcement coming from the natural, sieging up as well. And at the same time, there's actually a couple of Marines chasing away the command center up the top. And there's actually a mule coming down here by the STC. Again,
I think he was trying to get Sparta to shoot his own tanks, but he missed with the mule drop. Because you see that in Terran vs. Terran quite a bit, the offensive mule drop against tanks, but he was able to clean that up with the third base economy. There's just too many units.
Yeah, exactly. And also denied the third base for Sparta that entire time. And GG's out. So the STC on a 4-0 streak at the moment. Let's find out if he can go 5-0. This is ZENEX not looking too good at the moment.
No, struggling a bit right now.
right, next game's coming up. It is going to be, I don't know who that is. We'll have to wait for the KSL admin to let us know. But it is going to be crossfire here between oGs, the STC, and our next ZENEX player. Not many chances left here, Elkin. 2 games to go for ZENEX before they are knocked out. It's actually going to be ZENEX Suzie. So lots of new names coming out here for ZENEX today. It's going to be a Protoss player, so we're going to have a TVP here.
Who's the player?
So ZENEX Suzie.
What was the TVP we saw yesterday on Crossfire?
Finale Jackchi?
Was that the one?
Mm-hmm. Alright, so it looks like we're ready to go. Let's get this game started. Or not. Everyone's saying GG, but nothing's actually happening. What's going on?
Controlling you.
Yeah, looks like it. Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Game number 6 here for KSL's 2012 opening ceremony. ZENEX up against oGs. We have ZENEX Suzie, a newer player I believe, to the ZENEX lineup as our pink Protoss up at the top right hand corner. The STC of course, hailing from oGs, and a 4-0 kill streak at the moment. Looking good to take down an all kill, as we almost saw from, I think it was Noblesse yesterday, as our blue Terran. It is of course Crossfire as the map. Interesting choice of maps. We did see a very interesting one, of course, between Jackchi and MVP's Finale yesterday. So let's see if we can see just an action-packed one as well. Unstable here, joined with Relkun for this cast set. And we're going to see how the STC handles this TVP matchup. He did quite well on Belshir earlier. But that really came down to a lot more stuff like that Planetary Fortress and Extreme was actually attacking into it quite a bit, so I'm not really sure what his thought process was there. We'll see if Suzie can do something different.
Yeah, that came down a lot to the fact that the gold patches are still on that version of the map. Like, STC did a really good job of exploiting that, which is what you should be doing as a player. But it was a really good example of why the GSL has removed the gold patches from all of their maps. Because he basically got his opponent into a lose-lose situation. If you kill my Planetary Fortress, you'll have to sacrifice so many units that'll counterattack.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, I've got a Planetary Fortress on the gold. So we'll see how it goes on Crossfire, because the game, I think Jackchi versus Finale was that one where he went for the really aggressive attack. It got fought off, then Jackchi's counterattack got fought off, but he never killed the proxy pylons. So there was another counterattack, and that one won. So it was just a really crazy back and forth game.
Alrighty, so of course we do have that gas, as you were talking about, that for the STC going straight into the reactor at the front. His Marine might be able to stop the probe coming up, but unfortunately we'll see the reactor coming forward. Does take out the probe, but misses the barracks over here on the left.
Yeah, missing the second barracks is really important. Also, he didn't get to see if he was still mining the gas from his refinery. Because sometimes this reactor is a reactor barracks into expansion, because that's actually what Jackchi did on this map yesterday. But with the second barracks, it's probably going to be the 2-Rax Reactor Marine with combat shield pressure, which can be really tough to deal with if you don't know that it's coming. And so missing that scout is really, really important for Suzie.
Yeah, at the same time, we do see, of course, the Zealot and Stalker pushing off across the map. And the third supply depot going down at the top of this ramp here for the STC. He needs to be careful about this early pressure that comes forward. He's going to have a lot of Marines, but the proper micro from the Stalker can beat that out if he wants to. Lots of Chrono Boost going down on this gateway, though. Second Stalker coming across, doing a lot more Oz-style pressure here. Zealot at the front is trying to target down that SUV for a second, and is doing a nice job of attacking those Marines. Nice pullback by the STC.
It's reminding me of Brood War right now with the Dragoons on the ramp. Is actually doing a good amount, but the Tech Lab has just finished up. He has started the combat shields, and this is actually going to work out really well for Suzie, weakening these Marines so that when this timing attack comes, it's not going to be quite as strong. You just can't lose these units. You can't take too much damage on the Stalkers either. As long as he keeps Mike very effectively, this is just going to work out really well in its favor. The Zealot will go down in a second, and that will put an end to this as he won't have the vision off the ramp. But look at this. You can see that X is also hiding the Marauders. He doesn't want to show off that he's going for this right now.
He wants them to come back up the ramp. He is going to go for it.
He might spot them. Oh, okay. Actually, he's going to show him at this point. He doesn't care. He's almost to the point where Combat Shields is done. He's just saying, get off my back, because, well, I'm going to be attacking you here soon.
Yeah, we do have a factory, of course, in the main here for the STC. Also, a robotics facility and 3 extra gateways for Suzie. Was banking quite a bit of minerals there for a minute as they were trying to move up the ramp. And doing some nice micro there, but did fall behind in the macro a little bit. 2 sentries at the top of the ramp, of course, with not losing any units other than that. Whoa, hello, Stalker.
Oh! Yeah, he's actually checking all around the map for pylons at the moment, and the fact that there's no concussive should tell him that he's looking to move out. Actually, it looks like STC... Okay, he was backing off for a second, but now he's gathering his forces again. Gonna get down towards the natural and, you know, just move forward here. Looks like Suzie's just going for hardcore 1 base, which is rather unfortunate for STC. Because usually with this strategy, you just camp out their natural, and so you're not allowed to expand.
Alright, so we do have the starport 50% of the way done here, though. There is a tank on the field. STC does not like going for the macro game on this map. The Immortal already on the way, second one lined up for Suzie. With these 4 gateways, should be able to pump out enough units to possibly meet this army in the middle of the map. Does not want to get sieged. Actually, there's no siege mode on the way. Doesn't want to get...
another Stalker! Oh, he's so lucky there's no concussive shells right now.
Well, the first Stalker was almost taken out as well. It is on red health here. It's at 8 HP. And we do have a Medivac coming out as well. So there is nothing coming out of the factory at the moment. It's only that 1 tank. STC is floating 250, 150 here, but he's supply capped at the moment. Very unfortunate for that to happen to him. And we actually see Suzie moving forward here.
Yeah, he's got the first Immortal out. He doesn't look like he's going for a second one. It looks like just the 1 Immortal into 4 gate. Seen some variations on this build. It can be very potent against the fast expansion strategy because you move in here and you break all the bunkers. But look at this, Suzie moves forward. Wait, there's no expansion. There's no bunkers to bust. What? Oh my god, what am I supposed to do right now? He looks really confused. She's just wandering around. I was expecting there to be bunkers. Why are you 1-basing as well? And now he's just going to set up a containment down here at the bottom of the ramp, most likely. He has a proxy pylon. He's just going to have to watch out for the fact that Medivac's already out in the field. He could get backdoored by a drop.
Yeah, it doesn't look like STC planned to have siege mode anytime soon. Of course, did start it just now. It looks like he's going to try and move down the ramp. Needs to be careful of the force fields. Of course, there is a Medivac there to lift up in case any of these units get in danger zone. And the Nexus has gone down over here for Suzie at the same time.
Yeah, you can see he's actually moving some units down the ramp, trying to bait the force field to get him to use some of that sentry energy, but until siege mode finishes, he's not going to be able to do much. He's not going to have the EMPs to be able to do this either, so this is a dangerous position for STC, especially since Suzie is expanding. Oh, Mirage sitting forward, trying to take out the sentries. Not quite going to be able to take that one out. They do very little damage to his sentries, but this Medivac is almost all the way across the map, and there are not many units here to defend, just 2 Stalkers and a single sentry.
Yeah, STC is ready to move down that ramp as the dropship, sorry, the Medivac gets very close to the main here. Is going to start dropping units as he's coming down the ramp. The Immortal at the front does get popped pretty much instantly.
He doesn't even get that tank in heard that was a really bad exchange for Suzie.
And in the main at the same time, there's a lot of units going down as they're being warped in by these Marines. Actually, quite a few going down. Sentries as well. The Zealot finally warped in. There's another Stim going down. The Immortal doing a lot of work.
Yeah, that Mortal's in some trouble as well. Now the probes coming off the line, attacking the Marines. A lot of probes are going to go down. This is really good for STC. Look at the supply as STC busted through that containment at the same time. Suzie, without any Immortals left at the bottom of his ramp, just lost almost every unit before he turned around. Now STC has a 30 supply advantage. Things were looking good for Suzie, but he just couldn't keep up the battle on both fronts. And now there's just a massive army just moving across the center of the map.
Yeah, well, there's another drop. The STC tried to drop again, but was spotted by that pylon, and is trying to cut off this army in half here for the STC, but it's just slowly, ever so slowly moving forward. Only one probe down here at the natural expansion for Suzie. There's a Viking on the way here from the STC, not even caring about trying to expand. More engagements here, but the siege tanks are really outranging these units. Whoa, a sentry! That did just pop in. Why is the Immortal in siege range? And there's another drop, of course, behind the mineral line as well, losing a lot more units. This one dropship has been so frustrating for Suzie to deal with, and at the same time still trying to keep these force fields done. But moving forward into the siege tanks, time after time, taking more and more damage.
Yeah, there goes another sentry. That other one doesn't have any energy left. So he's got one more force field, and then that's it.
Of course, the Viking giving vision range at the top of the ramp here as well. Marines coming back into the main yet again. Looking at the working counts, 14 probes to 27 SCVs. And looks like the STC's finally gotten up that ramp. There's not much energy left. And the Marines are just going to chase it down. One force field goes down, but there's way too many Marines. These Marines are still going to work at the probe line as well. And looks like Suzie's done for. There's the GG. The oGs to the STC. One game away from an all kill here on ZENEX. Let's find out if we can do it. One game to go, Railcoon. That one was pretty one-sided.
It was looking alright for Suzie until he lost all of those units at STC's ramp. Like, it wasn't over until those Immortals went down and then he failed to deal with the drop. Then he was really far behind and then he lost all of those units when STC pushed out. Like, it was definitely recoverable if he'd been able to just pull back and defend that Nexus. I think he just got a little bit too greedy on that containment, especially since his opponent hadn't expanded yet. You gotta expect that medevac a little bit sooner.
Alright, so one last chance here for ZENEX. STC looking very strong tonight. I'm not sure if they will be able to pull someone out. Of course, the winner of this goes on to play the winner of MVP and NS Host, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys from earlier. So if you want to go check out those VODs, feel free to. But it's going to be interesting. Not sure who they can really send out to go next.
Yeah. Have absolutely no idea who's left roster-wise. But hopefully they have at least one ace saved up at this point. I just don't know who it would be. Because this is going to be their last chance, and STC is playing really well. You can see his first two games were a little bit more shaky, but at this point he's warmed up and he's on fire. He's not making really any mistakes anymore. It's going to be really tough to beat him when he's on a roll like this.
Alright, so it looks like there's a lot of chatter now in the chat. We'll see how we go. Alright, who is this?
I have no idea. Oh, it's Jejun.
Ah, okay.
I'm probably murdering that pronunciation-wise.
Gonna have another TVT coming up on Calm Before the Storm. Let's see if the STC can take this one out 6-0. Would be very
Just
unfortunate.
looking this up quickly, his Jejun's versus Terran currently in like televised games is 44%. So that's going to be kind of tough. This is his most played matchup, and it's 12 and 15, so it's not that bad. It's pretty close to even, but SEC is sitting at 56%, 23 and 18. And he's on fire right now as well.
It's very true. Looks like we're ready to go. This could be the last game for tonight. Going to be unfortunate if that's the case, because we had such a good first two games, and then yesterday was pretty one-sided, and this today is pretty one-sided. Of course, it is a tournament-style format, so the winning teams will move on.
Yeah. We're on Eye of the Storm again, and this is going to be curious to see if we get a repeat of what happened yesterday, where one player tries to go for a fast expansion, gets punished by a 2-racks. Definitely a possibility in Terran vs. Terran still.
All right. See how we go. Calm Before the Storm, interesting map for a TVT. Come on, who's lagging out the game?
Don't know.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone to the KSL 2012 opening ceremonies. It is going to be ZENEX up against oGs in a best of 11 GSTL style team league format. Of course, we have ZENEX Jun up next as our red Terran over here on the right hand of Calm Before the Storm. And then of course oGs, the STC, as our blue Terran over here at the bottom left. The STC currently on 5 wins, going to go for the 6th one here by the looks of it. As Jun's win record against in TVT hasn't been all that great, but of course anyone can pull anything out here in these games. But oGs definitely the favourites to go through this. We did see, of course, oGs Juk2 lose this first game, giving ZENEX the first win. It looked good from then on, but then just went downhill as soon as the STC stepped up. And of course we have a very quick gas from the STC to start off.
Yeah, gas first, actually, quite early. And then, going to follow that up with the barracks. So he's going to be starting off with something aggressive. Watching Jejun, it looks like he might have gone for the gasless expansion, but he did go for his own refinery. So not going to fall into the trap of what happened yesterday, going for the aggressive expansion on this map, because there's an in-base expansion. It's always tempting. But the thing you have to realize is the rush distance here is so much shorter than Crevasses. It is a lot easier to punish here on Eye of the Storm.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Of course, this scout going in the right direction for Jun is going to see this gas timing here. There's anywhere near enough time for that first Marine to come out. And that's going to give Jun a little bit of an early idea on what's happening here for the STC. Of course, has his own gas here at the moment. It's only about 50's gas behind. And as we do see a very quick factory spotted by Jun, of course, and he's kept workers on this gas, unsurprisingly. And it seems to be the way you either see a very, very aggressive play on this map or very passive. There's no real in-between coming in from the Terrans on this map. And oh, look at that, we actually see a reactor straight away.
Yeah, I was watching this curiously to see if we were going to see a second refinery or not. So I was going to expect some kind of really quick cloak Banshee, but he's not actually going for that. Reactor is on the win. Could be for Marines really early while he goes for some quick tanks, but most likely going to be opening up with the Hellions. But, I mean, even when you scout out that reactor, it can go either way. The openings for Terran vs. Terran are so flexible, it's really tough to scout out exactly what's going to happen in the early stages.
All right,
Because look at that.
Mhm.
June is doing the Tech Lab and Reactor. Might switch him, might keep him this way. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, he's going to have that. Oh, I saw the starport being placed for a second, but it looks like it was cancelled. At the same time, the STC starport is a little bit out of the way of a scan to see what's going on here. And it looks like it's actually going to be Hellions coming out of the factory. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Medivac coming through. There is, of course, an SCV up here at the middle watchtower, going to be taken out by that Marine if Jun doesn't pay attention. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, and we see that June is actually going straight for the tank, creating the Marines 2 at a time, while SDC is also using his reactor to make the Marines 2 at a time, but it looks like he's going to go for that Marine Hellion drop aggression, where you drop the Marines, try and move in the front with the Hellions, just catch your opponent off guard. If they're not paying enough attention, it can do a lot of damage. If not, it's just a little poke that doesn't really lose you much.
Mm-hmm.
But the tank is going to be out. It's got the second one on the way instead of going for siege mode, interestingly enough.
Yeah, okay, so we have double gas here for Jun at the same time. The SDC staying on that one gas. Has that Medivac out now. It's just popped. What is he going to put in that? He's actually going to put 7 Marines into that. Hellions look like they're going to poke in at the front of the base at the same time. But look at this, we already see Jun ready for anything like this. He's got the tank at the front, going to shut down the Hellions unless they run straight past. And these Marines are in the perfect spot to try and deal with any kind of drop. So Jun looking very good. There's 2 tanks out now, of course, doing a lot of damage to that first Hellion, forcing him to back up. And I think the STC is going to have to cut his losses here. He does not have the Marine count at all. And look at that, he's got his expansion coming in behind this as well. But here's the thing, Railgun, he's going to have to find some way to deal with these tanks.
Yeah, the Medivac did turn around pretty much immediately. It's just going to drop down here at the 6 o'clock. Gather himself with a few other units. He might try and ferry both of these into that back expansion to see if he can get anything done, but no, he's going to switch this around with the Hellions, see if he can sneak these in there instead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the problem, is the tank count is actually getting quite high for June at this point. Only just now starting siege mode. And the issue is that SCC's tanks are quite delayed, so he's not really going to be able to take advantage of that.
Well, he does have one Hellion at the front here for the STC. Going to see the timing that these comes out. Siege mode is a fairly fast upgrade. Only 80 seconds in-game time to get done. Of course, there's one Medivac here. 3 tanks coming across. And oh, look at that. The Viking actually spots the Medivac coming down. And it's Hellions. Actually, by the looks of this, there's only 2 Marines here to cover. And the extra ones are only about halfway done. So he's going to get quite a few SCV kills here, Railgun. If he doesn't attack supply depots.
When does he say that he hits the supply depot with the Hellions? That wasn't actually watching them, but this is a large force attacking across the map for June. And it looks like he's just going to siege up on the low ground. His siege mode is slightly faster. He should be able to break through this bunker, and he just has more units. So if he's going to be able to do that, it will be quite effective for him. There goes the siege mode. STC's siege is not done yet. You see the Vikings trading here. Bunker is down. Now he's attacking up the ramp, but the siege tanks are out of range. He's getting a little bit ahead of himself. That will allow STC to kill a few extra units, possibly be able to hold this because of that slight mistake by June, but no, a couple more tank shots do go off, take out all of those Marines.
Yeah, but he is trying to repair this tank.
Has to repair his tank.
Did get 12 kills in total over there with so far this game here for the STC though, and it looks like Jun is going to have to wait for his extra reinforcements to come here. SCVs on the tanks at the top of the ramp is going to be very dangerous for the for Jun to come up. Of course, we do see the Viking now. He's going to have vision, has to watch the Marines, of course. With more and more units coming across here for Jun, he can slowly push up, but he is still down a base because the STC has had his expansion up for quite a while behind here. And look at that, he's actually not that much of a SCV count here. 13 SCVs to 32, and he's coming up the ramp now, though.
Tanks aren't sieging. He's actually taking huge amounts of damage. June, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he had to try and attack there because he's down a base. He needs to try and continue the aggression, but that was just...
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't even know that.
That was poorly controlled.
He doesn't actually see the expansion. And moving up that ramp was a very big mistake. It might have actually cost him the game completely there. Because looking, as we were saying before, 14 SCVs to 27, the second command center as well, of course. And now the STC's caught up in the tech. He's going to just breeze past in the army count here. 22 to 27 in favor of Jun. But he hasn't even tried for a extra command center yet.
Yeah, he's just staying on the one base, and that's just going to go really poorly for him. Look at the supply counts. Like the worker counts as well. It's 15 to 31 because he actually waited quite a bit to rebuild the workers he lost, and he's falling behind because, well, STC's making 2 for every 1 that he makes. So this is getting out of control. We'll see another factory here soon after these 2 barracks, most likely, and then he'll be falling very far behind in the tank count as well. Main thing is there's not many Marines, but I don't think that's going to be enough to bring June back.
Whoa, there's actually these Vikings doing a lot of damage to another one for June. He's got to be careful. There's 2 tanks in that medivac there at the same time. The Marines are placed nicely behind the tanks here for the STC, and the STC is actually still about 6 supply down in the army camp, but has the better position, has the extra economy, and the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to look for the STC here. June being a little bit hesitant, of course, can't run up there. Repairing that Viking is a good choice, but whoa, hang on, the STC moving a little bit forward, wants to try and see if he can get a couple of these units, forcing June back a little bit.
He's not even sieged up here, he's just sitting here in an unsieged position, just leaving him very vulnerable. I mean, look at this, STC just moving forward, sieging up, trying to get pot shots off onto these Marines. And
interesting note, neither of them have stim yet. There's also a Banshee on the way for the STC stim as well. There's 4 Vikings, and now he's actually starting to get range on a couple of these units, and Jun being backed into a wall here, can't move any further back. There's also this 1 tank covering a lot of the units coming forward here now, like those 2 Marines just got cleaned up.
Uh-oh, now he's moving into closer position. He's just going to be continuing to shell here.
Oh, but here he goes.
And Jun's going for it. This is going to end very poorly. I think that's going to be pretty much prompting
the tanks were in the medivac over here, down from the bottom though. Unsieged, doing quite a bit of damage, but there's just way too many units here for the STC in a better position. 36 supply to 73, and he's just being chased down now. There's the GG. The STC all kills ZENEX. Not an unsurprising result, to be honest, but at the same time, nice play by the STC this entire set, and that is going to end with 6-1 in favor of oGs. They will, of course, go play the winner of MVP versus NSHOSA, which was played yesterday. Not going to spoil it for you, though. Go check out the VODs if you want to. I was Unstable, joined here by Railkin for this cast. If you do have any feedback, feel free to let us know, of course. We're always open for that.
And check out the FX Open Invitational Series.
Yeah, the STC will also be making an appearance in the FX Open Invitational Series, the $5,000 32-player Invitational that we are going to be running in January. Be sure to check that out. It's an absolutely insane invite list. Until then, I think we're going to sign off here, Railkin. I'm just going to finish up here. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
See you guys.